Shubor nakaslem jong unong san Hima.
U nong yalam kalyang persha u Dr. Mukul sangma haringkat kakurim jong u ka miani di shira kilalet ban ya kendo ya ulat ka jila u CH Vijay Shankar Halok Bhavan Shillong banyakren Halor kalong kaman harilom Garo. Hagani kajing kendo u Dr. Mukul ulakentu ya ulat ban thau ya kajing toket ka balat lut ne ka independent Enquiry banwat bnia ya ki Jingjia ki badang shen bat ban pentikna ya ki daw ten rai jong kini ki Jingjia habaya kren makinong tho khobor hadien ka jeng kendo u Dr. Mukul ulai thu ba ulapen sngo sha ulat ya ka long kaman harilom Garo khamtam ha ka beidei bat ka shongsuk ka shongsngan hakaleng ki district karilom Garo hadien ki Jingjia ki badang shen hashwa ki election sha ka Garo Hills Autonomous District Council Uloong ba ka jingbam shongsuk kawanra igi Jingjia ki balai phaujat ha ki rukom ki ba pher ulai thu ru ba ulai kren ya kani bat umentri rangba ukonrat ki sangma dak ba kentu banya treilang bat banya teli ba wanra ya ka shongsuk shongsngan ka babiang bat kumju ru ika jinga teli ha ka imlang salang kat badang penbet ya ki mat ki bawanra ya kini ki jing e shu ulai thu ba ka daw baro kami kini ki jingele markenti kadai Halor kajing dawa ban omsha ya ki bamdei ki riulum ban yakhon ki election MDC ha GHADC ulakentu ka sarkar ban khot ya ka jingmir Jingmut bat baro ki kenhon ki baidan benta ne ki MDC ban tai sani bha Halor ka ne kamat bat ban penbet ya ki ne ki mat jing dawa lingba ki an ki kanun ki babiang
I had the privilege and honor to have an audience with the Honorable Governor today, and I have sought an audience as you are all aware about the prevailing situation in the western part of the state across all the districts of Garo Hills, and all the developments that have unfolded post your declaration of election on the run-up for election to the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, and the overall prevailing situation. Now, I have also shared with all of you that as the situation unfolded, which led to uncontrolled violence and various other challenges vis-a-vis the law and order situation in the districts of Garo Hills. I have spoken to the Honorable Chief Minister a number of times and engaged in discussion as to how we must all put our heads together to see that the collective effort is seen for restoration of normalcy and harmony, peace and harmony, and also to put our heads together to resolve the core issue which has ultimately culminated into that kind of situation, a charged environment, then eventual scenario that we have all witnessed as a fallout of whatever happened. Now, having engaged on a number of occasions, now there are two things that is before us. One was, of course, the issue of the term of the district council. Obviously, the term of the district council as elected as per the mandate of the constitution, read 60 of the constitution of India, is for 5 years. And the term of the then district council house ended by 18th of March. Today we are on 21st. Therefore, there was a situation where there was a need to take a decision. The decision is to also proceed ahead with the election. Elections were postponed, but naturally elections will have to be held. Now, under what type of conditions the elections will be held was the issue to discuss. And another part is now that the election cannot be held within that duration of the validity of the House of the District Council, read Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, therefore to invoke the provision of the 6th Schedule of the Constitution of India to extend the term, which is provided as per the provision of the 6th schedule of the Constitution for extension for a period of 6 months at a point of time. This was done by the government because it was needed. But at the same time, the most important core issue was, before we proceed ahead with the election, the issue which was to be resolved must be discussed upon, and a clear stand and the action thereof must be demonstrated, because we must not shy away from the facts and the ground reality that we cannot hold the election until and unless the particular issue which was required to be resolved is resolved. In other words, the demand of the people of Garoids, our Garo community, has been very loud and clear and very assertive that other than the tribals, no non-tribal should be eligible to contest in the district council election, in the Garoids Autonomous District Council. In other words, to bar anybody other than the scheduled tribe from contesting in election for GHTC. And this issue has been discussed, and it is only necessary for everybody to come together. Everybody to come together. And in the process, I have also suggested to the Honorable Chief Minister that call all concerned, engage in discussion with all the stakeholders, and particularly call all the elected members of the Garo's Autonomous District Council. Discuss with them, take everybody on board, and see that this particular issue, which needs to be resolved, is completed. I am made to understand, because I have been in engagement, I have been trying to follow up the developments, and we have reasons to believe, then keeping in mind the adequate protection that is available under the relevant paras of the 6th Schedule of the Constitution of India, this can be done. And therefore, this is one part which we have agreed to give fruition to as per the demand of our people. And the whole responsibility now will be automatically vested on the members of the district council, who should take a call through a process of legislation in the house. Now, process of legislation can be to give effect to the kind of provision in the rule through a resolution, and that is to be seen as the house decide on their collective wisdom. I will not indicate anything which can be considered as premature, because we cannot take house for granted. Any proceeding of the house will be determined after the proceeding is over, and therefore we only hope that everybody will come together. I am also making appeal to all the MLAs of MDCs of Garo's Autonomous District Council to see that the political differences do not come in as a hurdle, as an obstacle, while this crucial issue is going to be resolved. It must be seen as a collective resolve, and it must be also demonstrated by them as a decision which is unanimous, the larger good of the people and the state as a whole. Now, while this expectation of resolving this issue is from the positive perspective, I see a possibility to give effect to this demand of the people. But at the same time, there is also concern about the overall handling of the situation, particularly in respect to the authorities engaging in going after the leaders who have been perceived to have been, as per the available, whatever inputs are available with the legal authority, enforcement authorities. There is a perception. There is a perception which is circulated Or in other words, I would say that the relation of narrative which is creating a general perception that law enforcement authorities are carrying out arrests in random and indiscriminate manner without proper verification of facts or involvement. Such perceived actions can lead to miscarriage of justice, could aggravate also the situation or otherwise the public unrest, and risk of implicating innocent persons while the real culprits may remain unidentified. It is very important that arrests met merely to demonstrate action or to diffuse immediate pressure may result in deterioration of the law and order situation, and rather than restoring the trust and confidence. Every action of the authorities must be seen as being done on good faith, with no bias, but in a transparent manner, in the with the sole intent of ensuring administration of justice in the right earnest, without any favor or ill will. Therefore, I will be taking up this issue with the Chief Minister again. I personally feel, after having consulted with my other colleagues, that it is necessary to have an independent inquiry by invoking the provision of the law under the Commission of Enquiry Act 1952. Let there be a Commission of Enquiry, which will go into the details about the genesis, etc., and which can be seen as a sincere effort of the government, without any bias, or in other words, to also see that, because how the overall unrest and violence unfolded, it is very important for proper investigation to collect the kind of inputs which is consistent with the actual incidents at the ground zero, and therefore leaving no room for any negative narrative which can generate different perception, to create that kind of overall perception that the authorities are taking advantage of the situation to settle some personal scores, or etc. There can be all kinds of narrative which can be circulated, and this is something which is actually happening. So the government must take cognizance of these things, and therefore I personally feel that we should discuss this approach. And we have also seen from the past experiences that any such inquiry under the mandate of the relevant law does give us space to instill trust and confidence amongst people. Then it will be seen as something which is being done with the honest intention to really look at the causes and the measures required as per the law to take cognizance of any lapses or omission or commission from all sides, including from the sides of the authorities. It cannot be one-sided. Therefore, I have submitted a memorandum to Honorable Governor today, the copy of which I will be sharing with you, and that itself will be self-explanatory.
Doctor, in fact, BJP...
That the same Constitution of District Council's rules, 1951, adopted at the time of Undivided Assam, is still in operation. Now, for whatever reasons, this has not been amended. Therefore, now, as I'm saying, that I don't want to go to genesis, nor try to engage in somehow passing on the buck to others, because we have been in the helm of affairs of governance for a very long time. We know how things have unfolded over the decades and how the situation is. That's why I'm saying that today it has become necessary to take a collective resolve to decide on this, and once for all. And there is enough protection under the provision of the 6th schedule of the Constitution of India to do so.
Doctor,
Must be held on time. Now, there are also questions. Why extension of the district council at a time for the period of 6 months? Well, the constitutional provision provides that extension can be met for a period of 6 months at a time. That is the constitutional provision. Therefore, even though the extension is for a period of 6 months, it doesn't mean that elections have to be held only after completion of this extended period of time. No. The moment this issue is resolved, it is then time to see as to how early we must hold this election to the GHTC.
Sir, coming back